Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Aquaponics World. So we got a new leaf on this guy here, and this guy came back. We got this guy going a little bit bigger, a little bit taller here. I got my new filters and a new servicing kit for the flue valve pump. So it comes with some washers and the new propeller thing. So I'm going to be trying to go back to organic water. So I'm going to take these fish and put them into this fish tank over here so that I can drain out all the water, take apart the pump and replace all the parts and the filters, and then put back some clean water back in there, some organic water, so I can start the aquaponics system going again. As a reminder, I was able to keep the fish alive without any electricity. If you want to do aquaponics without electricity, the only thing you got to do is get some soil and get some plants, some aquatic plants, or basically I can't tell you what varieties are aquatic plants, but there are aquatic plants that will live underwater. But you, I'm sure, can Google that. I believe one of them was Anubias. Anubias was one of the types of plants that I got. But anyway, you can go to PetSmart and pick those up. But you just get some soil, you fill your tank full of plants, and you never have to use electricity again. You just have to do some water changes until the plants are able to absorb all the. All right. Well, this water's been sitting out for a week, and so it's a little bit colder than the water in the fish tank. I don't know why. I guess because it moves around a little bit more in the fish tank. But anyways, got the fish out into this tank. Now I'm just gonna pump out this water out of this fish tank. So we're gonna go with the out and open this. And pump all this water out the window. And while I'm draining the fish tank out, of course I'm just doing what I always do and just scrubbing off the sides of the glass, scrubbing off the bottoms of the glass, getting all the sides, scrubbing off these pipes. And as soon as it stops draining, it'll probably drain about half of it with the pump. Then I can start removing the water manually with a empty gallon jug of water. But then I can use some of that water to clean off the intake strainer. Well, it actually got it pretty low. It's still pumping. But what I want to make sure is that I'm not sucking in air into the intake here. So I don't want it to get much lower than this. I definitely don't want it to get past the intake strainer, because then it'll just start sucking in air. But from here I can just manually take it out with a with an empty jug of water here. Just kind of fill that up and dump that out the window. Like I said, I can use some of this to clean off the intake strainer and stuff like that. So now I just close the in and the out, and I'm going to go ahead and unplug this so that I can get to cleaning the intake strainer off and take the lid off this, take the filters out and replace those, and clean out the canister. So this is an annual cleaning, just once a year I have to do this. And I'm going to be replacing O-rings and the propeller and everything in there. And we're going to be going to all organic water again so we can get back to our aquaponics system for our organic veggies. So I'm going to have to drain all the water out of this, and the best way to do that is to disconnect the outtake and to open this up. Oh, I guess Maybe I already did. I don't know. Uh-oh. What did I do wrong here? That's weird. Yeah, so you open that up, and then you just got to elevate this higher than your drain. So I'm going to have to pick this up above the window height. And once you have all this drained out, then you just want to make sure you close that off, because that way it doesn't leak out anymore. And next thing is just taking these screws off. Take the lid off. And then you can take out your filters. And like I said, once a month you want to clean these filters off and put them back. But you know, once every 3 months you want to replace your charcoal filter. And you know, I'm not exactly sure on the maintenance schedule, but I know once a year you have to replace everything. So this is my once a year thing. So I'm just replacing everything in there, the biomedia, the filters, everything in it. I'm going to scrub this tank out. And everything you do, use chlorine-free water. Rinse out your sponges. So once you get the lid off, this is a sponge that captures some of the biofilter in it. You know, you got these two sponges here. And every part of this has beneficial bacteria in it, so that's why you don't change it out very often. Right now I'm just gonna take everything out and replace it all, including the propellers and any O-rings. All this is bio media that I'm going to be replacing. So I'm just taking everything out one step. You can just use some of your dirty fish water and just pour it in here and clean all this out and just dump it out, and make sure you clean everything real good in the canister as well as the filters. And of course you can use some of this dirty fish water to clean off all of your parts. I did not get replacement baskets. I don't even know where to get these. I have not seen these online yet, so you may not be able to replace these for all I know. But you can take out the biomedia and stuff like that, because that you can replace. These sponge filters you can replace, the carbon filters you can replace, but as far as I've seen, I haven't seen any replacement for these baskets yet. So just got to rinse these out in some water that is doesn't have any chlorine in it. So you might as well just use your dirty fish water to go ahead and do that. And while you're doing your annual cleaning, it's not a bad idea to take this off. It's got a couple of clips on there that hang it over the side. Just take those clips off and run some water through it. A lot of stuff gets built up in here, it gets pretty nasty, so good idea to at least do that once in a while too. Well, I got the O-rings replaced, and just so you know, there's 3 screws in this. One up here, one inside here, and one on the other side over here. So it's just 3 screws, and you got to have like a eyeglass Phillips head or an eyeglass screwdriver. It doesn't have to be Phillips head, but you got to have an eyeglass size screwdriver to get in that hole. But yeah, replace the O-ring. There was one on the bottom here, and then there was one here, one here, one here, one here. So got those O-rings, and then there was one inside here. Got those O-rings replaced. I did not get these sponge filters. I thought I had gotten all my filters. I did not. But now I'm just going to use some of this water to rinse these out. So of course, of the things that I did not get, it was these sponges, which those are the only thing that they don't sell at PetSmart. But I did get a new one of these, and I did get a new one of these. I got two of those and like 6 of these. But what you want to do is you want to take some dechlorinated water and rinse all your stuff out before you put it in there. And I also got some more of these biomedia. This biomedia, I got some of that stuff. So I'm just going to rinse that out in this dechlorinated water, and go ahead and put together this filter. I squeezed these out the best that I could. They're still coming out dirty, so they're pretty saturated, but that's okay. Okay, so I was just opening up these and I realized that we got 2 different kinds here. We got a pre-filter and a Biomax. Pulled out the instructions and it's for a different type of Fluval pump. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and rinse these off in some dechlorinated water over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and toss those in as a pre-filter for right now, and hopefully I can find the right ones later, and hopefully this doesn't do any damage, because I need something in there. So I'm having no luck here with this replacement parts stuff. Once you have your filters back in there, you got your O-rings replaced and biomedia replaced, filters, carbon filters, sponges, everything replaced. All you got to do is just add some of this dechlorinated water here back into this tank, fill it up, attach the hoses, put the lid back on, make sure the in and out are turned on, the valves are on, and then just plug it in, and you can use it to fill up your fish tank. You just put the this hose into one of your tanks, and it'll suck the water from here and put it into your fish tank. So to be quite honest with you, I haven't actually tried this out. I've tried filling my tank up first and then using the pump, but I don't see why it shouldn't work to fill your fish tank up. Just basically using this as the inlet. Definitely want to make sure that stays in the water, but I'll just be closing the inlet off and then opening up that valve right there for an in, and once I plug it in, it should suck the water from here. It may suck a little bit of water in, or air in though, I'm afraid, but that's okay. We'll see what happens. So yeah, it seems to be working okay. I got this hose opened up. The in is closed, so it's pumping the water out from here into there. So again, you just want to make sure that once you get down to the bottom of this tank, that you're not sucking up any air into this hose. So you want to make sure you shut it off. You just shut this this valve off down here before you start sucking in any air. So we're getting to about that point. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off, and then I'll open this up, and hopefully it'll keep sucking from here, because I do have just about enough water in here to have it start sucking in. Now I can add the fish back in and add the rest of this water in. And now I can just go ahead and finish sucking the rest of this water out. So I'll just shut off the in and open up this this valve right here and finish sucking the rest of this water in. And we have all organic water in there. And now I can change out the water on the plant tank using fish water. And I can take the fish water after it's the plant water and put it back into the fish tank, so I can recycle the water. And the upside to all this was I did prove you can run a fish tank without electricity. It's a little bit more work, but it is doable. Just got to have a bunch of plants, that's all. And this water level's getting down to the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this off and open up this inlet valve again. And then I just got to pour this in there manually, the rest of this water in there. But that's it. We got about 40 gallons of water back in there. I would have put 50, but I didn't think about it, but I needed 10 gallons of water just to clean the filters off with. So I may need to get another like 50-gallon fish tank just for backup water. But anyway, this should do you know, 25-gallon tanks should do it. But yeah, onto the plant tank. Just real quick, wanted to take a look and show you guys what that looks like. It's super clear. I'm almost concerned that it's too clear, but I'm gonna feed them. And like I said, at least I did have the old sponges in there, which was probably a good thing. Keeping a little bit of beneficial bacteria in there is not a bad idea. When you start a brand new tank, you definitely want to have some dirty fish water from somebody else's fish tank, and or just you can also add ammonia and fish food into your tank for about a week, and it'll start building up the nitrogen cycle. But starting a nitrogen cycle is definitely no fun. Took me a little bit to figure that out. I got some dirty fish water from another fish person at the pet store, so lucked out there. But onto the fish tank, onto the plant tank. All right, so I gave up yesterday. I was done with it, but I'm filling up this tote now today so we can swap out this water here. I just noticed this guy's got a new leaf. That's pretty cool. Got to raise him up again. He's getting into the water a little bit. But these guys are doing really good. The fish are all good. Definitely got to fill up some totes for next week so I can add some more water in. I'm going to go ahead and swap this water out, put some new fertilizer in there. Just got the hose running, filling that up right now. Go shut that off. Got the bucket full of water here, and next week I'll probably start using the Aquaponics fertilizer again. I'm going to keep using this hydroponics fertilizer for right now. But I do have all of this water all organic now, so we're not using this water conditioner anymore. I'm going to be filling up these fish tanks full of water so that I can add some more water to the tank next week. But right now I'm just going to add some of this stuff, and it's for this growth cycle, still in the still in the general purpose mild vegetation, so we're still going to be using the 1 teaspoon of each for 5 gallons, so we need 5 teaspoons of each of these in here. Okay, I added my 5 teaspoons of each one of those in here. Just going to mix it up real good, and then I can just take these guys out of here. I might have to raise them up a little bit, but just going to take these out for a second. Another upside to having them hanging, so you can just take them out for a second. I'm just going to move this out of the way, put this up here, swap them out, and put them back into the new water. So like I said, this water level is about the same as it was on the last bucket, but you can tell that this branch is in the water. Don't want that at all, so I'm going to go ahead and raise that up. This one here looks like it's okay, it's out of the water. This one here looks like for the most part it's out of the water. You could lower it down just a little bit. So I gotta lower these two down just a little bit and then raise this guy up quite a bit. Okay, the very base of this plant, you can totally tell the difference between the base of the plant and the roots. So the base of the plant is out of the water. Same thing with this one. I just dropped them down just a little bit because I want to make sure that these roots stay wet, because last time I let it get too far out of the water, the plant dried up. So I'm trying to prevent that from happening. This guy, I just want to make sure that this new leaf doesn't get sunk into the water, so I'm just trying to keep it as low as possible. It does have some roots that are out of the water, but that's fine. I'd rather have these roots out of the water than to have this leaf in the water. And that's about it for this week's adventure. Hopefully at some point I'll get these sponge filters to replace those sponges, but it's looking pretty clean. Thanks for joining me for another edition of Aquaponics World, and I will just be keeping you updated on how this aquaponics system is going. I'm going to be starting to use this water to feed the fish next week. Since it is organic, I'm not using the water conditioner anymore. Oh, I do have one last thing that I got to do. I got to fill up these two tanks full of water. But that'll be about it. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs so I can get monetized for this. Do appreciate you guys watching. I hope everybody gets a 50-gallon fish tank and a flue ball pump and follows along with my journey. Should be growing some free food pretty soon, straight out of the seed, no soil. So yeah, I'm just gonna fill this up with some tap water. Got my hose going, and I'm just gonna fill this up with tap water, and fill this one up with tap water as well. Probably fill up both of these totes as well. I need about as much water as I can get. And the purpose of this is that I'm going to leave it sitting out for a week so that the chlorine won't be present in the tap water when I give it to the fish, because the fish don't like the chlorine in the tap water. So if you're growing organic food with your aquaponics system, you got to leave your water sitting out for a week before you put it in there, because it's got chlorine in it. And this applies to starting a new fish tank as well. Just make sure you don't have any chlorine in your water before you add it to the fish tank. As you can see, it's pretty easy to switch back and forth from the hydroponic system to the aquaponic system. So right now I got it on a hydroponic system, meaning that I'm not using any of the fish waste to feed the plants. Using hydroponic food. Really easy to grow hydroponics. Just got to keep the plant out of the water. There's different ways of doing that. You can use these cups that allow the roots to go through holes in the cup, and it keeps the plant in the cup and the roots grow through the holes into the water. Or you can do it like this so that you don't get root bound in that little cup. And this doesn't require any clay pellets or anything like that. But with this fish tank here, I will be able to switch back from the hydroponic system, so I won't need fertilizer. I'll be adding a little tiny line of this just for some iron and some micronutrients that the fish don't give me. But true aquaponic system will be when I'm taking this to fertilize the fish, to fertilize the plant, and then using the plant to remove the nitrate so that I can put that water back into the fish tank and just cycle it back and forth, and I won't be wasting any water, I won't be wasting any fertilizer, I won't be wasting any soil. And this can be done without electricity as well. It's just a little more work. Alright, and that is that. Got about 50 gallons of water sitting back here waiting. for next week so I can fill that tank up to the top. And it's all organic water, no water conditioner. So I can start feeding this guy. So that's it for this week. Thanks again for watching. See you guys next week.